Salutations and welcome back to me doing my homework. I left off with the Alien and Sedition Acts. I'm literally saying this moments after I finish saying the other thing, and my throat kind of hurts. Limited foreign citizenship. French Revolution. Actually, there's more to the Alien and Sedition Acts than just the whole limiting citizenships. Controversially, it's limited the influence of the opposition party. Almost censored what people, limited what press could say about Adams without the apostrophe. Homestead Act. That's gonna be Abraham Lincoln. Offered really cheap land in the West for farmers. This had really deep impact on all life as we know it. That's why the Midwest looks like the Midwest. With all that empty grasslands. And it actually only ended recently, apparently. The last bit of it was sold off. As far as I'm aware. Or at least that's what my one of my TAs said about it. God, I'm not leaving much room for my essay prompt. Maybe it's okay that it's bleeding over into this side. Because I do have that little break there, and it's a different numbering system that I have for the second part of this 3-portion test. It's terrifying. I'm not happy about it. I'm glad that you're helping me cut down on my word usage. The 12th Amendment. I actually don't know much about that. Actually, first things first. Homestead Act. Abraham Lincoln. (1862). I don't have these in chronological order whatsoever. It was just me randomly choosing which ones I was doing and when. Let's see, what's next? Shit. I should close that. Could just shave off the top a little bit for the first episode. Maybe for this one as well. The 12th Amendment. The 12th Amendment. 1804. While the war was still going on. Dude did not rest politically even during the war. It's pretty amazing. Do you fuck with the wall? Brian got a poo. T-5. The 12th Amendment to the United States Constitution provides the procedure for electing the President and Vice President. It will replace the procedure provided in Article 2, Section 1, Clause 3. What? If the House of Prince shall not choose a president whenever the right of choice shall devolve upon them before the 4th day of March next following, then the Vice President shall act as President at what? The 12th Amendment cannot be understood outside of the Electoral College, which sets the 1787 Constitution as mechanism by the Americans select their presidents. Four crucial aspects of that mechanism. The first was that the electors would vote for two persons, at least one of whom had to be from outside the elector's home state. The second was that the electors did not differentiate between two persons as potential presidents or vice presidents. Electors should simply vote for the two persons they viewed as the most qualified to become president. So, greatly changed the electoral college. In that case, according to the original Constitution, the decision would be made by the House of Representatives, with each state's delegation getting one vote. History, represent the first time an incumbent leader was defeated in an election. The incumbent was John Adams, who had been Washington's vice president for 2 terms and was elected into his own right in 1796. His vice president was Thomas Jefferson. This result reflects the desire of the farmers of 1787 to avoid development of political parties focused on some notion of best men. The runner-up is no longer the VP, because that caused a lot of turmoil. The era of good feelings. The era of good feelings marked a period in time in political history reflected a sense of national purpose and desire for unity among Americans in the aftermath of the War of 1812. Unity across the nation. I believe my professor also talked about how there was only one political party. So they were just like set to win pretty much. And up next is Dred Scott. Dred Scott. Dred Scott was an enslaved African American man in the United States who unsuccessfully sued for his freedom and that of his wife and their 2 daughters in the Dred Scott versus Stanford case. Unsuccessfully sued for his freedom. African Americans were ruled not to be citizens. That's why we needed the 13th Amendment. Unsuccessfully. Amendment has won. John Brown's raid on Harper Ferry. God, I have a lot to work through. I hope you guys are enjoying this as much as I am. That is just so interesting. Is the guy literally doing homework for a video on YouTube. You ever just look at your life and think, how did I get here? Record scratch, probably me flying out that window over there. Probably wondering how I got here. It's because I suck. Ugh. Let's see. Frederick Dolt. No, John Brown's raid on Harper's Ferry. We can just get rid of that essay part. John Brown's raid on Harper's Ferry was an effort by abolitionist John Brown to initiate an armed slave revolt. 1859. John Brown hoped for unarmed slave revolt by taking over the arsenal at Harper's Ferry. Brown's party was 24. Let's just take this back peg. Oh my god. Well, I'm going to remember that he's the great compromiser. I'm going to know that William Lloyd Garrison is an abolitionist. I think what's more important is that he helped popularize the... Let's just put popularized. Let's get rid of the. It's not doing much for me. Not doing much against me, but whatever. I will remember that the standardized railroads helped in the Civil War, because I really like trains, if you hadn't noticed. Freed slaves of rebellious peoples, 1863. Sherman's offered total war. Mexican-American War. Oh, I'm going to remember this, the Mexican-American War, because we don't have a city named Veracruz in America. What would be more important there is the year. American system Missouri Compromise, not let slavery happen above. Can get rid of in-states, because I literally just said above. Also admitted Maine. Yeah, I don't even remember that. To hell with Spain, remember the Maine. Bolstered infrastructure, standardized railroads. We bought butt tons of land from France. It's not wrong. John Adams's. I know those John Adams's, especially since I bring up Adams later. 1798, limited foreign citizenship, stricter rules. I understand what I mean, hopefully. Limited what the press could say about. Limited what press could say about Adams. Abraham Lincoln offered cheap farming. But I might not. The Homestead Act is a weird one. Cheap land in the West for farmers. 1862. 1804, really changed the electoral college. I think I'll live without that. And just runner-up is no longer the vice president. African Americans were ruled not to be citizens. That sounds horrible. That's really bad phrasing. Oh my god. This is why we needed the 13th Amendment. Indeed, indeed. Frederick Douglass. Frederick Douglass. Frederick Douglass. Frederick Douglass. Frederick Douglass was an American social reformer, abolitionist, orator, writer, and statesman. After escaping from slavery in Maryland, he became a national leader of the abolitionist movement in Massachusetts and New York, gaining note for his prefatory and incisive anti-slavery warnings. Helped lead abolitionist movement. Wilmot Proviso. Some people blame this for the Civil War. They're like, this is the point where it can't turn back. It's not my words. Those are words from my professor, my TA, actually. Wilmot Proviso was a proposal to prohibit slavery in the territory acquired by the United States at the conclusion of the Mexican War. Prohibited slavery in the new territories. 1846. After M.A. War. The Indian Removal Act? I forgot. Someone's a horrible person. Horrible people are riddled throughout American history. Indian Removal Act. 1830 looks like the right time frame. 1830. Believe it or not, Abraham Lincoln was actually not against slavery. Like, not originally. I mean, he might have been, but he never ran on that campaign. The reason he won was because the Democrats actually split their ballot. There was only one Republican running, and that was Abraham Lincoln. And the Democrats were like, well, I mean, we don't want to upset the people, so let's just throw 4 candidates into the presidential election. So, yeah, probably the stupidest move anyone's ever made, except for like some of the tactics from the American Revolution. Those British people were just like, let's ignore tactics. They're just Americans. It's kind of funny. At least that's the way my TA phrased it. Signed President Andrew Jackson. Really, Jackson happened in this time. I don't know. I guess it makes sense. Jackson's probably sandwiched right in between Abraham Lincoln and one motherfucker, Adams. I think. I don't know my presidents that well. I'm not a great American. Actually, it might make me a better American. I don't know. Might make me standard as far as Americans go. Thank you guys very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this, and I'll see you next time. Salutations, welcome back to Michael's doing his homework. Part 3. Hopefully the thrilling conclusion. Clearly it's not. I've barely made any progress so far, and I'm not even a third of the way through this fucking sheet here. I'll even record myself printing it out, and I'll tell you guys how the test goes when I record on Friday, because Thursday's the test and today's Tuesday. Fuck me. That's not a request, that's just general phrasing. 1830, Trail of Tears. Cherokee, marching on the Trail of Tears. Don't take these guys as your heroes. Not the people I'm saying about, but like these guys. They're human. They're fallible. Some just aren't good. 1830, Trail of Tears. West of Mississippi. Sadly, I'm going to have to delete Trail of Tears, because I'm going to remember that. That's like something my brain already associates with the Indian Removal Act. I'm thinking maybe I can put 1830 in parentheses right there. Add that formatting. Can't do it with that one because it's after the amendment. I mean, I could actually. Let's just Control X, delete a lot. Apparently more than I needed to, or more than that. Wilmot Proviso, parentheses, Control Paste, and delete that. Put a comma there. Nullification crisis. This one I'm a little foggy on. I think it might have been a side effect of the Kansas-Nebraska Act, or Kansas-Nebraska Virginia. God, I'm an idiot. Kansas-Nebraska Act. Kansas and Nebraska didn't even exist when the Kentucky and Virginia Resolution was going on. I mean, it did because the land was there, but like it wasn't named Kansas and Nebraska. God, I don't even know my states. I know what state I'm in, though. Texas. The nullification crisis in the United States and political crisis, 1832 through 1833, during the presidents of Andrew Jackson, which involved the confrontation between South Carolina and the federal government. Events leading the American Civil War. Wonderful. And ensued after it declared that federal tariffs, 1828 and 1832, were unconstitutional and therefore null and void the sovereign boundaries of the state. South Carolina refused to pay tariffs. Based on arguments presented in the K and V res. Let's just leave it at K and V. Still gonna need to take a lot of notes on that. What? New video.